The shows you're about to watch contain graphic adult content. Viewer discretion is advised. You're watching Hellfire TV.
Good morning, motherfuckers.
Morning.
Another beautiful Saturday morning here in lovely South Carolina. It's a nice temperature of about 55 degrees and rising. For those of you that have snow, I'm sorry. Actually, I'm not.
It's a brisk 27 degrees by me and expecting a chance of a dusting to 5 inches. So we'll see. I shit you not, that's what the fucking news said. And I'm just like, wow, that is really pinpoint accuracy for us this weekend here, folks.
Oh, well, it sounded slightly sexual to me. But anyways, all right.
Depending on the temperature.
So, while John's over there giving you a dusting of 5 inches, we're going to talk about...
You fucking asshole. This is how we're starting out, okay? All right.
I love you too, bro. See, I wasn't the only one. I was not the only one.
See, I keep things straight and on point. It's just you change it to what your mind wants it to be. I'm sorry.
This is true. This is true. It's true.
Yes.
Anyways, with today's theme, we are doing a list from Flickchart. I know you guys don't like Flickchart. We normally don't like Flickchart, but we'll see what Flickchart could bring. But with today's stuff, obviously we are doing top 100 horror films from the 1970s. It was a good time. There was good movies from the 70s. I love the 70s. I wasn't born. I was damn near born in the 70s, but, you know. I was a few years off. Just a little bit. But anyways, we're going to dive right into it. Get through this shit. You look very disturbed.
Just keep the show going.
Okay. I mean, Yeah, I can keep going.
Oh, I know you can. I'm just like, okay.
I can keep it going all night long.
Oh, well, yeah, you take pills for that, so I can understand.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh,
It's gonna be one
nice.
of those. You're
Nice.
start. I'm
Nice.
taking the gloves off. It's starting.
Okay, nice. All right, starting at number 100, Madhouse up against 99 Hatchet for the Honeymoon. I think I'm going to go Madhouse.
I'm gonna go Madhouse as well.
You know, I actually have a funny story about Madhouse. It actually took me a really long time to watch Madhouse. For some reason, I don't know why, as a child, the cover, and it actually doesn't show the actual cover. That cover is not the actual cover that they had on the cover of the VHS store. But the VHS cover scared me so bad as a child, as a young kid, I would not watch it. I was actually a teenager by the time I actually watched Madhouse. I don't even know why. Like, it wasn't even that scary of a cover. But for some reason, as a kid, there was something about that cover that scared the fucking bejesus out of me, and I would not rent that movie. Would not do it.
Understandable. I mean, it was one of those things that just kind of like caught your eye and like, ooh, is this going to be a good one? And then somehow talking your mom into renting it for you because, different things like, oh yeah, sure. Let's watch this. Yes.
Yeah, I was a teenager by the time I actually rented it. But moving on, number 98, Dracula AD 1972 versus number 97, Your Vice is Locked. Whoa, that is the longest fucking goddamn title I've ever seen on a movie.
Your Vice is Locked Room, and I only have the key.
I'm going to go with Dracula AD.
Okay. Oh, and here, let's answer this. Morning Felicity. So what happened to it is this week has been a whole clusterfuck, and I've worked too much, and I did not officially get everything written up like I wanted to. So that's slacking on my part, but my day job has taken so much over this week. It's terrible.
Completely forgot about it. But okay. Number 96, God Told Me To, up against number 95, The Island of Dr. Moreau. And that's the original Island.
Ooh.
Not the one that everybody likes with Val Kilmer and who else is in that? Ron Perlman and Fairuza Balk and a million other awesome people. I guess I'm going to go with, actually, I think I'm going to go with God Told Me To. I don't really care for the original Island of Dr. Moreau. It's not as good as the remake is to me.
Okay.
Number 94, Asylum versus they have number 93, Blood on Satan's Claw. I'm going to go with Asylum. I didn't really like Blood on Satan's Claw. I thought it was going to be much better what it was, and it was actually kind of fucking boring.
I'm trying to remember what Blood on Satan's Claws actually was.
One of those weirdo 70s occult movies that you needed to probably smoke and snort a line of coke off a hooker's ass to halfway understand it.
Never had that experience, but could you tell me about yours?
I mean, I never did coke, but it was definitely offered to me quite a few times in high school. Moving on.
Well, when you're paying for it, yeah, it's definitely offered. Oh. Yeah, I'm sorry. All right, I'm going to tame it back a little. I'm sorry.
I was just a pothead. I didn't even like alcohol. Like one time, well, I mean, I do now, but that's beside the point. No, I had a very rough run-in with whiskey, which is funny that I love whiskey now. Like, whiskey's my shit. But then the very first time I ever got like completely hammered on liquor was Jack Daniels. And it was the worst night of my entire fucking life. And I still remember to this day how bad it was. I mean, it was horrible. I went with my friend Kendall, and she was like my chick best friend. Like, we never did anything. We were just like always together. And so she took me to a party. She hung out with a lot of older dudes. Like, she was like 17, 18, and was always dating like 30-year-old fucking dudes. So we ended up going to this like older dude's like apartment, and just first off we started getting smoking, and then it led into drinking, which led into me doing like 5 shots of Jack Daniels in like 5 minutes. And next thing I know, I'm in the shower puking all over the damn place, and she's got to take me home to my parents. I smell like a fucking bourbon barrel walking through the house, throwing up all over myself. It was not a good time. Anyway, number 90, where are we? Number 92, All the Colors of the Dark versus number 91, Godzilla on Monster Island. I'm going with Gojira.
Surprisingly, because normally you don't go for Godzilla because it's not really horror.
I know, it's not really. Every time I don't know why. Every time I watch Godzilla, I think of Power Rangers. I don't know why. I do every time. Like, every time I see Godzilla, I'm like, where's the Power? Like, I expect Power Rangers to come out and be like, go Power Rangers. I think of the Green Ranger fucked me up because his damn dragon sword reminds me of fucking Godzilla, and that just fucked me all up for life.
Understandable.
Fucking Power Rangers.
So I got a quick little thing for you. So I ran a call this week, and it was funny. The lady opened up the door, and she had like the original Power Rangers beanie on, had a throwback 90s shirt. I'm like, okay, fine. I go to take a look at her kitchen sink, and she asked her daughter, she's like, you want to watch Pocahontas? I just turned around and looked. It's like, ma'am, you're really putting me back in the 90s. Thank you. That's very nice of you. It's just like, I wasn't even born yet. I'm just going to fix your sink.
Oh, shh.
I was like, it was all nostalgic and nice and, doing all this. I'm like, great. And then find this out. I was like, I want to get the hell out of here now. I feel old.
Yeah. So moving on, number 90, Vampiros Lesbos. I didn't do this list. All right, I didn't do this list. Versus raw meat. Let's go with raw meat.
That sounds even worse.
I know it does. Oh god, it's gonna be
Vampiros Lesbos versus raw meat.
Vampiros Lesbos. All right, number 88, Orca versus 87, Tomb of the Blind Dead.
But their senses are heightened because they're blind, so they can smell you better.
So
I don't know.
All right, let's just go with Orca.
Sure.
How do we come up with a movie where all the zombies are blind? So what is it? You die and you're automatically blind?
Well, the eyes decay, so in theory, you're not able to see anyways. Okay, if we're going to break this apart, we're going to really destroy this for a second. So, one, zombies, you can't really do it. The joints tighten up because of rigor mortis and all that. There's no way that any of that would happen. And this is a zombie fanatic telling you this. Right. Two, after a while, your eyes will decay and there'll be no more. So you won't have that. Not like you see in a lot of the zombie movies. You're not going to have the sense of smell, sense of hearing, because there is no fucking bodily function. So the fact that they did it in the 70s, we were just like, oh, we're just going to do Tomb of the Blind Dead. Like, okay, that's a little bit more logical. They've been dead long enough that their eyes just are gone. But that still doesn't make enough sense for anything. Well, fuck, we could say the same thing about mummies because they're blind because they've got fucking wraps over their eyes. Who knows if they got eyes still in there, but they're supposed to.
So if we go that far, let's say zombies eat. Being that they eat your brains and they try to eat you and they eat flesh, do they shit?
Well, there's actually books that talk about that because the body can't, actually break it down and do all that. Your stomach will basically go and expand until it would bust. And then everything will just come right out there.
Or we would just get a bunch of fucking obese zombies until they exploded.
Well, not if fully exploded, their stomachs would, because it wouldn't be able to hold up under so much of the food because of all that. So yeah, it would explode and with the decay again and all that different aspects. So if you read a lot of the different books, I think that was in which book did I read that out of?
So they wouldn't just walk around shitting on themselves.
No, because their body's not processing it. You have no bodily function. None of your organs are working. You know why this happens?
The
Do you know
visuals
how
are
this-
god
Hold
awful.
on. Do you know why this happens?
What?
Because they wrote it in the fucking script.
They wrote what in the script?
Zombies eating and doing all this. This is why it happens. No, they don't show them pooping. They don't show any of these different aspects because that's how they wrote it in the script. Anytime someone asks me when we're watching a movie, why is this happening? Why did this go on? What about this? I always have the common answer of, well, they wrote it in the script. That's why it went that way. So now when it comes to a zombie part, when it's like, well, we don't know about this. Well, there you go.
Anyways.
Zombie tear.
Number 86, The Night Strangler versus 85, Vampire Circus. I think I'm going to go Night Strangler.
I still need to watch the updated version of that.
That's good. That's good. It's not bad. Number 84, The House That Dripped Blood. Up against 83, The Car.
Was it a women's frat house?
It's nasty.
I'm in a weird, strange I'm so sorry.
Well played, you little shit.
Anyways, so yeah, let's go with the tampon horror. We'll go with The House of Dripped Blood. Moving on, number 82, The Vault of Horror versus 81, Captain Kronos, Vampire Hunter. I think I'm gonna go with Vault of Horror. Definitely Vault of Horror. And while you still watching is still hanging in there, please feel free to share us out to your group, share us out to your pages. We greatly appreciate it. And we are going to cut to a commercial break real quick. We'll be right back. All right, so you wonder about who makes us look beautiful and wonderful and amazing and does all these cool overlays and all that shit. That is Hellfire Production. So if you are a streamer, podcaster, content creator, and you need help, contact them. They're super cheap, super affordable on any kind of income. Hit them up. They will help you. Anyways, moving on. So we're at number 80, Dead of Night versus 79, Sugar Hill. What do you think on this?
I like Dead of Night better than Sugar Hill.
Okay, yeah, I'm good with that. Number 78, Trilogy of Terror, up against 77, Race with the Devil. I think I like Trilogy of Terror a little bit better.
You better if you're a 70s horror fan.
Oh, yeah, of course. I love the 70s and 80s. Everybody knows that. That's why I picked this list for today.
Mm-hmm.
Number 76, The Town That Dreaded Sundown versus 75, Twins of Evil. I'm going to go with The Town That Dreaded Sundown. I love that movie. It's a great movie. The remake was not good, but the original is very good.
A lot of times the remakes aren't as good. There's very few that will actually stand up next to or overpass But
Well, because I feel like whenever it comes time to when they decide to do remakes, I feel like they try too hard, and that's what ends up like fucking up the entire movie. Is they just try to outdo it, and in trying so fucking hard, you end up making it look stupid. That's just my viewpoint. Number 74, Murder by Decree versus 73, Dr. Phoebes Rises Again. I'm going with Dr. Phoebes.
I'm okay with that options.
I enjoyed his movies.
Mhm.
72, Taste the Blood of Dracula versus 71, Phase 4. Yes, Phase 4. I don't know on that one. I've seen both of them. I'm trying to remember which one I like better.
I like how you're trying to figure out your Roman numerals for a second.
Yeah, it was like I had a memory lapse, and I was like, okay.
If the 1 is before the 5, then that must be below. And if the 5 is the 4 after, then that means that's after.
Look, I smoked last night. All right. I'm still a little foggy.
Uh-huh.
I'm getting with that's why I have my coffee.
Mm-hmm.
I'm getting with it.
Mm-hmm.
I might be with it by the time we do the NFL show today. Anyways, we'll go Phase 4, I guess, unless you picked Taste the Blood of Dracula.
I'll do Phase 4 just because.
Okay. Next, number 70, Alice, Sweet Alice against 69, Blackula. You got to go with Alice, Sweet Alice.
I completely agree with you there.
Loved Alice, Sweet Alice. That was probably one of my favorite movies when I was a kid. I watched the shit out of that. Yeah, I loved it. If none of you have seen Alice, Sweet Alice, go give it a shot. Go watch it. It's good. 60, you motherfuckers. You motherfuckers.
It was the 70s. Come on.
I knew it was going to be on here. Anyways, Jaws 2 versus 67, The Sentinel. Of course, I'm going to vote for The Sentinel. I'm not voting for fucking Jaws. You can't fucking make me, although they have before. 66, Godzilla versus Mechagodzilla, or Godzilla versus the Smog Monster. So I just have to decide on which villain we liked better. Let's go with Mechagodzilla. I think Smog Monster is kind of stupid. Don't.
Hold on.
Okay.
Da-dun. Da-dun.
Anyway.
All right, which one did you go with? I'm sorry.
The Godzilla versus Mechagodzilla.
Okay.
Next, number 64, I Spit on Your Grave versus 63, King Kong. I'm going to go with I Spit on Your Grave. It's a very difficult fucking movie to watch. Trigger warning, folks. If you go to watch I Spit on Your Grave, there is very, 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 very graphic rape scenes. So if you are uncomfortable with rape scenes, either when you start to realize that it's coming up, skip it, or do not watch the movie, because I'm just telling you, it's a trigger warning. If you can't be adult about it and watch the movie, don't watch it, because you're going to get upset. And let's not get upset and get our panties in a wad. All right, moving on to number 62, It's Alive versus 61, The Strange. What? The Strange of Miss.
The Strange Vice of.
Oh, Strange Vice. Okay. I'm gonna go with It's Alive. I loved that movie when I was a kid. I watched the shit out of it.
I'm fine with that.
Next, number 60, Damien Omen 2 against 59, Who Can Kill a Child?
I'm going with Damien Omen 2.
Yeah, I'm good. I'm good with that. 58, Dracula versus 57, Horror Express. I think I'm going to go with Horror Express.
I'm good with that choice.
Yeah. Number 50, The Crazies.
Ooh.
Up against 55, Blood for Dracula. I'm all about The Crazies.
Yeah, agreed.
Yeah,
that was like the stepping stone for Romero to jump into a lot of different aspects. So it's awesome.
Right. Yeah. Let's definitely go with that one. 54 Images versus 53 When a Stranger Calls. The original. I'm going with When a Stranger Calls.
Yeah, the original was way better than the remake.
No, the remake was shit.
Right.
52 A Lizard in a Woman's Skin versus 51 Daughters of Darkness. I'm going with Daughters of Darkness.
Okay. That'll be a good toss-up for that.
Yeah. Number 50, Let's Scare Jessica to Death versus 49 Tourist Trap. I'm going Tourist Trap all the way. That is probably one of my top 10 favorite films of all time of horror. I fucking love that movie. And just a little FYI, Tourist Trap is actually one of the first films done by the soon-to-be, at that point, Full Moon Productions.
Mm-hmm.
That was a Charles Band film, right? But the company had a different name. It was before he changed the name to Full Moon Productions. What you know for now is, the makers of Puppet Master and Ghoulies. And actually, Ghoulies was another one that was done under the old film name before they turned into Full Moon. Ghoulies was one. Tourist Trap was one. Also, Dolls. Dolls was another Charles Band movie that was done before they became Full Moon. So just a little, nerd out there for that, because I love Full Moon Productions. I love Charles Band's films. All right, 48 Burnt Offerings versus 47 Piranha. I'm actually going to go with Piranha on this one.
Yeah. Again,
the Piranha
original's way better.
Yeah, the Piranha remakes are fucking horrible, but, is what it is. 46 The Vampire Lovers versus 45 The Night Stalker. What you got?
I'm trying to think here.
I think Night Stalker.
Okay.
Vampire Lovers was a little too softcore porn for me, more than horror. Just saying. It was. 44, The Cat O' Nine Tails versus 43, Torso. I'm going to vote on Torso.
I'm good with Torso.
42, Let Sleeping Corpses Lie versus 41, Tales from the Crypt.
You have to go for Torso, because all he's got is nobody.
Yeah. Good dad joke there. Wonderful. Fantastic.
Well played, you little shit.
I'm definitely going for Tales from the Crypt on this one. Hello.
Me too. Hello, Gabby. Good morning. All right, so Tales from the Crypt it is. Number 40, The Fury versus 39, The House on the Left. Do we even really need to debate this?
No, The House on the Left.
Yeah, it's like, is that even debatable?
And that's another movie that's there.
See, now we're starting to get into the really good shit.
It's finally jumping into everything.
38, Amityville Horror versus 37, Salem's Lot. I am going with Salem's Lot. It was close, but I am going to go with Salem's Lot. Coin of Death? Okay.
Coin of Death, because I want the Amityville Horror.
All right, Coin of Death it is.
So, heads is Amityville, tails is Salem's Lot.
All right.
Salem's Lot.
Salem's Lot. All right. 36, Don't Torture a Duckling versus 35, Magic. Oh, definitely Magic.
Magic for sure. That's
fucking Anthony Hopkins. Fucking that was a great movie.
Which a lot of people forget about that, and that's so sad.
I know it was very early, very young Anthony Hopkins in that movie, and it was a great fucking movie.
Mm-hmm.
Great movie. Loves Magic. 34, A Bay of Blood versus 33, 120 Days of Sodom. I am going to go with Bay of Blood.
I agree with that one.
Yeah. 32, Rabid versus 31, Shivers. What you got on this one? Because I actually like both of them, and I can't really choose between the two.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to decide. I mean, both are from the same people, so it's kind of hard to say. Let's go Rabid.
Okay. Rabid it is. Number 30, Valerie in the Week of Wonders versus 29, The Hills Have Eyes. Hills Have Eyes for me.
Yeah.
That one's not even really debatable. 28, The Legend of Hell House versus 27, Martin. I'm going with The Legend of Hell House.
You have to, absolutely.
Yeah, that one was a pretty easy one for me.
Mm-hmm.
26, The Abominable Dr. Phoebes versus 25, Theater of Blood. I am going with The Abominable Dr. Phoebes.
I'm good with that choice.
All right. 24, Phantasm versus 23, Zombie. I cannot choose on this. This is probably going to end up being a coin of death.
Yeah.
Yep, coin of death it is.
Give me 2 seconds. Hold on, let me finish writing this because you're a little faster today than me. But we did bullshit in the beginning, so I know you're pushing it a little quicker.
Actually, no, I'm not pushing it quick. I'm just rolling with it.
All right, so we have Phantasm versus Zombie. So Phantasm's heads, Zombie's tails. Phantasm.
Cool.
And by the way, folks, I'm using Resident Evil coins from like the video game that you use to open up the special doors ways and everything else. So every time I do a coin of death, I'm using a specific Resident Evil coin. I know I'm that nerdy, but
it's fitting for our show. It's fitting for our show. All right, number 22, The Rocky Horror Picture Show versus 21, The Brood. I am going with Rocky Horror.
Agreed.
Gotta go with Rocky Horror. Sorry. Anyways, on that, we are getting into the top 20. Before we do, we are going to take a quick commercial break, and we will be right back. So while we're doing it, share away. And that is Tony Buck Effects Studios, the maker of our awesome fucking Scoops the Clown and Crowley Von Doom. So if you need a mask, you're a content creator, you have a character, you can hit up Tony Buck Effects on Facebook or Instagram. Anyways, moving on into the top 20 of round 1. Number 20, The Bird with the Crystal Plumage versus 19, The Devils. I'm going with The Devils on this one.
Agreed.
Devils was a good little flick. I enjoyed The Devils.
You could say 18, it was a little sinful.
Yeah, it was. It was. Number 18, The Tenant versus 17, The Omen. I'm going with The Omen.
Yeah, let's go The Omen.
I thought this upper echelon would be a little more difficult to choose from, and it really hasn't been. 16, Carrie versus number 15, Nosferatu the Vampire. Absolutely going with Carrie. Everybody knows how I feel about fucking Nosferatu.
Well, this is not the original one, though, so it's a lot different. You're not talking about Rat Face.
It's still Rat Face.
Or how you say. I'm not.
Number 14, The Texas Chainsaw Massacre versus number 13, Black Christmas. That is not even.
Not even this so low. How's Chainsaw at 14?
I don't know. probably going to win with us. So Texas Chainsaw Massacre goes on. I have no idea. Anyways, moving on. Number 12, Wicker Man versus number 11, Invasion of the Body Snatchers. I'm going to go with Invasion of the Body Snatchers.
You love the Donald Sutherland version, so absolutely.
I do. Number 10, House versus 9, Halloween. I'm going with Halloween on this one. That's kind of a no-brainer. This upper part has really not been that fucking difficult. It really hasn't at all. I'm actually kind of shocked. I really am. Number 8, Eraserhead versus number 7, Deep Red. I'm going to go with Eraserhead.
Good choice on that one.
Very easily. Number 6, Dawn of the Dead versus number 5, Don't Look Now. I'm going with Dawn of the Dead.
I agree.
Number 4, Suspiria versus number 3, The Exorcist. I'm going with Exorcist all the way. Number 2, fucking Jaws versus number 1, Alien all the way. Anyways, we are done with round 1. We are now going into the lightning rounds.
Yes.
I need to do a clip for the lightning rounds.
Just have like a form of lightning.
Well, yeah, just like we do everything else. Anyways, moving into round 2. What do we have for round 2, John?
So in round 2, we have Madhouse versus Dracula.
I'm gonna roll with Madhouse on this one.
God Told Me To versus Asylum.
Let's go with Asylum.
Godzilla on Monster Island versus Raw Meat.
Raw Meat. We'll get rid of Godzilla because we don't really count Godzilla as a horror film.
All right, we have Orca versus the Night Stalker. The Night Strangler. Stalker's later.
Let's go with the Night Strangler.
Yeah. The House That Dripped Blood versus the Vault of Horror.
Let's go with the Vault of Horror.
Dead of Night versus Trilogy of Terror.
Let's go Trilogy of Terror.
The Town That Dreaded Sundown versus Dr. Phoebe's Rise Again.
Dr. Phoebe's Rise Again. Viagra.
Phase 4 versus Alice, Sweet Alice.
Alice, Sweet Alice.
Hello.
What up, Grayson? Good morning from Beaufort, South Carolina. Kind of close.
Good morning to Cincinnati. So next up, we have the Sentinel versus Godzilla versus Mecha Godzilla.
Let's go with Sentinel.
I Spit on Your Grave versus It's Alive.
It's Alive.
That's what she said.
Damien, Omen 2 versus Horror Express.
Let's go Damien.
The Crazies versus When a Stranger Calls.
Ooh. The Crazies?
Was that a question? You left it like that was a question. The Crazies?
Kind of.
All right, we have Daughter of Darkness versus Tourist Trap.
Tourist Trap.
Next up, we have Piranha versus the Night Stalker.
Let's go Piranha.
Ooh, I thought you were going to go the other way. All right, we have Torso versus Tales from the Crypt.
Tales from the Crypt.
Don't leave anybody out. The House on the Left versus Salem's Lot.
I can't.
I'm gonna go House on the Left.
Okay.
It's more fucked up for me. Magic versus A Bay of Blood.
Magic.
Rabid versus Hills Have Eyes.
Hills Have Eyes.
The Legend of Hill House versus The Abominable Dr. Thieves.
Hell House.
Phantasm.
This list is not as difficult as I thought it was going to be.
Yeah, they've got it screwed up. Phantasm versus Rocky Horror Picture Show.
Phantasm.
Yeah, I'm gonna put because Rocky Horror is not really horror.
No.
Next up, we have The Devils versus The Omen.
The Omen.
Carrie versus The Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Yeah. Evasion of the
Carrie.
Body Snatchers versus Halloween.
I'm gonna go with Halloween. Barely.
Really?
Yeah, barely. Barely. Jamie Lee Curtis is what does it for me on that.
Mm-hmm. Okay, we have Eraserhead versus Dawn of the Dead.
Dawn of the Dead.
Last one is The Exorcist versus Alien.
I'm gonna have to go with Alien. I love Exorcist. Don't get me wrong, I love Exorcist, but I don't know. There's just something about Alien that it's a damn good movie. I mean, both of them are good. Both of them are good in their own right, but god dang, either one of those two 70s juggernauts are very difficult to go up against. I'm kind of sad that they had to go up against each other so early on, but it is what it is.
All right, we're in the next round now here, folks. So we have Madhouse versus Asylum.
We'll go with Madhouse.
It's a Madhouse. We have Raw Meat versus The Night Strangler.
Let's go with Night Strangler.
The Vault of Horror versus Trilogy of Terror.
Trilogy of Terror.
Dr. Phoebes Rise Again versus Alice Sweet Alice.
Alice Sweet Alice.
The Sentinel versus It's Alive.
Let's go with It's Alive.
Damien Omen 2 versus The Crazies.
The Crazies.
Tourist Trap versus Piranha.
Tourist Trap. If you guys are just now coming in, we are doing the top 100 70s horror films from flickchart.com. So we do tournament style all the way down to a winner, and we will have our top 1970s horror film. Not really judged by us, judged by them. We just tear apart their list, make fun of it, and talk shit. And that's what we do, and drink coffee. Moving on.
Next up, we have Tales from the Crypt versus House on the Left.
House on the Left. That one was really easy. Yeah, this is way easier than I thought it was going to be.
You thought it was going to hurt a lot more?
Yeah. Thank you, Grayson. Thank you. We appreciate it greatly.
All right, we have Magic up against The Hills Have Eyes.
Whoa. Did you just say Mad Dick?
Magic.
Magic. Okay. I was like, Mad Dick. Okay. Anyways, all right, let's go Magic.
The Legend of Hill House versus Phantasm.
Phantasm.
The Omen versus Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Texas Chainsaw.
All right, coming up to the 3. We have Halloween, Dawn of the Dead, and Alien.
Alien.
I'm going to pull Alien, yeah.
Yeah. It was between Alien and Dawn of the Dead, and I was like, Alien trumps it just a little bit. just a little bit. Barely, because I really love Dawn of the Dead.
Oh, me too. All right, so we have Madhouse versus the Night Strangler.
Madhouse.
Trilogy of Terror versus Alice, Sweet Alice.
Alice, Sweet Alice.
That's actually making it further than I was thinking. It's Alive versus the Crazies.
It's Alive.
Tourist Trap versus The House on the Left.
Tourist Trap.
Magic versus Phantasm.
Phantasm.
Fucking dick.
Fucking dick.
The Texas Chainsaw Massacre versus Alien.
Texas.
It's hard, but I'm going to make that decision. Texas moves on.
Yeah.
All righty. Now, let's grab a different color because I'm having fun with those colors today. We have Madhouse for the next round versus Alice, Sweet Alice.
Alice, Sweet Alice.
It's Alive versus Tourist Trap.
Tourist Trap.
Phantasm versus Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Okay, so now we have final three. Alice, Sweet Alice, Tourist Trap, Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Live or die. Make your choice.
All right. I am going to go with Texas Chainsaw Massacre #1, Tourist Trap #2, and Alice, Sweet Alice #3.
Hey, for once we have an agreement on the final three.
Did we really?
Yeah, I know, surprising, right?
Holy shit. Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, I don't think there's ever been a day where we actually had the exact same final lineup on the top three until today.
Yeah, we've always been one off or something.
I know.
Hello,
and I know
hello.
people like right now are like, oh, this is completely set up because you have an all Texas Chainsaw Massacre theme. Actually, it wasn't. We don't know what's on these lists. So when we go through and pick out the list, we literally just type whatever into Google search, and we just pull one of the first lists. As long as it's not a list that we've done before in the past, we just pull it. We do not look at it, and we roll
I do.
it.
I skim it really quick just to make
Oh,
sure
I
everything
don't.
looks all right. No, I do.
Yeah, I don't know.
Plus, I like the idea of seeing where Jaws is at or something that you truly hate, so that way I know what to expect and to kind of giggle, just waiting for that moment.
That's fucking garbage.
So we've had numerous times where actually Texas Chainsaw Massacre's won because of the shock factor and everything else that it had when it originally came out. Nobody was expecting anything like that. And it stands to the test of time, really. When you put in, top horror movies, Texas Chainsaw Massacre is always going to be one of the top ones. And it's always going to be one of our favorites. And it's going to win consistently. I think it's the most horror movie we've picked out of any of these that we've done has been Texas Chainsaw Massacre's won the most.
Well, between Texas and Return of the Living Dead, because Return of the Living Dead has won a shit ton of times too.
Yes, but still, I think Texas
film,
takes the cake.
Yeah, I think. Well, that one. So I think like some of the major films over the last year that we've been, because Caffeine Injection is coming up on a year old. It's been like Texas Chainsaw Massacre has won a shit ton of times, probably the most. Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2 has won a shit ton of times. The Evil Dead has won a shit ton of times. Trick or Treat has won a shit ton of times. Return of the Living Dead has won a shit ton of times. Pumpkinhead has won quite a few times. I think that's the ones that really stand out to me that have won a bunch, but I do believe that you're correct. I do believe that Texas Chainsaw Massacre has won the most. But here's the thing on Texas, like movies like Texas and The Exorcist and The Shining, they were so far ahead of their time.
Mm-hmm.
Is why they've stood the test of time. Because to me, Texas Chainsaw Massacre is still scarier than 98% of the movies that come out up to this day.
Mm-hmm.
It really is. Like, I mean, I've shown people Texas Chainsaw that's never seen it and don't really like older movies. They don't dig it or don't dig the cinematography or the directing style or the way that it was shot back then, because obviously you don't have the same equipment that you did as, you have way better equipment today than you did yesterday. But still, to me, as many times as they've redone Texas Chainsaw Massacre now, and as many films as they've brought out, to me, still none of them are as good as the first two. They're just not. Like, they just don't. They don't have it. They don't have the feel. It doesn't have that raw grindhouse, just fucked up dread sense that you get when you watch those movies. You just don't have it. Hate me or not, but the 70s and 80s, they put out way better films.
And you know what? Since we've got horror movies from the 70s for today, I've already got pulled up and ready for tomorrow. It's another flick chart, but we'll have the opportunity to go through the worst horror movies of the 70s. And by the way, I skimmed through it while you were talking, and Jaws 2 is on it.
Oh, fantastic. The first one should be on there too. Anyways, we are going to let you guys go. If we are doing a special show today from noon to 1 because the playoffs. We are now in the playoffs for the NFL. We are doing the show today, so that way we could talk about all the games and not miss any. So if you want to join us, if you're an NFL fan, please join us from noon to 1 for a special edition of Tailgate Kings as we start to go through week 1 of the wild card playoffs. And until then, you guys have a fantastic weekend. Don't drink and drive. And if you're going to do something, wrap your tool. On that, we love you guys. We're out of here.
Fuck you. When I'm screaming, fuck you. Middle finger in the air, and all I wanted to hear was you screaming. Fuck you too. I'm out of the stratosphere in a brand new atmosphere. I wanna go and shoot to the campus clear, cause I never thought I would've made it out of here alive. From the land where the people put the evil and night ride. You'll never see an equal to my kind, so blind to anything to line the life to mind is right now. Looking for another mind to fight out. Bringing everything that you can bring down to the ground like 150 pounds of C4. Looking for keyboard thugs, well I'ma need more slugs, cause I wanna see more blood. You ain't never seen gold like us. They don't wanna make them any more like us. Put them on tour with the paint on, hoping that anybody can know your little lame song. Fuck right, I'ma stay wrong. Black out with a ray gun, looking for anybody to make up. Motherfuckers really need to wake up. There's nothing really you can say. That's ever gonna change my mind. I'm on some fuck that shit today. Fuck it, I don't care. Middle fingers in the air. Only careless up in here. Only careless up in here. Say fuck it, I don't care. Middle fingers in the air. Only careless up in here. Only careless up in here.
Fuck that! I said fuck this shit. I was born a son of a bitch and always talk a whole gang of shit. Even know that I wouldn't work fit. Now till I became a pastor. Whole world revel in the wake of my damn disaster. Had to talk to a pastor. Told me sit down, handle my shit, and try to figure out what the fuck's really the matter. Ain't none of my city, only big ass wicked is the last. Victim from your own personal premises. I never know peace is an emphasis. Therefore cover up all my scars and all my blemishes. These next 10 out of